All right. So I didn't find any big ones. I got a couple of small ones that we're gonna use. So the only thing about drilling through plastic is it does not want to doesn't want to cut threads. It just wants to bore a hole, especially if the plastic is old like this is. Like this plastic is falling apart, which makes this even more of a pain in the butt. That bit well though. Let's get that other one in. So I think I'm actually going to put this in the other side, more or less in the same position. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to move it further towards the tips a tiny bit. So I'm just holding it in place. I'm not actually like squeezing. It's just a loose hold on it. And that'll do. I do want to knock off some of these larger bits here. All right, I don't think we're gonna get any more with the knife. Yeah, it's not gonna cut. Okay, but I do have a little saw in here. So let's, you know what? I'm gonna run and grab my my Christmas present from my wife. It's a silky saw. So that should make short work of those. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is kind of exciting because I haven't really gotten to use this for anything yet. Took some limbs off of our Christmas tree when we were taking it down, but that's it. Oh, that's nice. I've heard just phenomenal things about these silky saws, and I gotta say, I think this is a finer tooth. This isn't like the super rowdy, I don't know, that might be. Regardless, it is cutting very well. I think this one actually cuts on the forward, yeah, it cuts on the forward and the backward stroke. Silky's like non-camp saws are, you know, traditional Japanese saws, so they're pull cutters. And actually, I've seen some people like with some clout, you know, that are kind of well revered, kind of shit on silky saws, and it's because they're trying to use them like Western saws. That's like more often than not what I see when someone's shitting on a silky saw. I'm no silky saw fanboy, though. I just appreciate a good camp saw. Little camp saw like this and a hatchet. There's not a lot you can't do in the woods. Hopefully there'll be some backwoods camping this year. I'm not super keen on doing it by myself. I'm more social when it comes to camping. So I'm hoping, you know, that I can get my best buddy to make some time and we can do some backcountry stuff. But even if he doesn't, maybe I'll still, you know, do it myself. So the reason I'm like taking the time to take these knobs off is I have a tendency to be pretty dynamic on my, you know, when I'm using a leaf saw, when I'm using a leaf rake. You know, my hand tends to travel pretty widely And so it'll actually make it makes a lot of sense for me to spend this little bit of time making this all more reasonable. This thing cuts, man. I'm trying to just take a little, like literally it didn't even have any drop there. That's how thin that cut was, and so it was just like cutting off, you know, all the shavings were what I was cutting off, and it did it well. Probably terrible for the blade right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see, like, just the folding camp saw. It's so useful. Let's get the blade out. I know I'm cutting towards my thigh, but I think most anyone that's done anything like this probably knows that this is absolutely plenty safe. Because all of my force is going that way. It's all being, you know, channeled between. And the way I'm addressing this, I'd have to fall off of here, and I basically have to completely change my angle of attack to end up causing any sort of damage to my leg, or again, that's a change in the way I'm using the tool. Which, if I were to need that change, I would change the way I'm holding it. Because I've cut myself enough in my life. I'd like to not do it anymore. Not in an emo way. Like, just, I've worked with knives and chisels and electric saws and regular saws. Like, grinders, although a grinder is not so much of a cut as it is a well, grinding. Okay, I think that's gonna be, I'd like to get the bark off. It's uncomfortable. We'll get it off right in here. Because this is where I think this is where my hand's going to be a lot, is right in this area. You know, as a walking stick, it wasn't that big of a deal to have it in that area. That's why down at the, you know, top, or down at the top of it, because the top is in the ground right now. But the top of it is super nice and clean, because when I was using it as a walking stick, that's where it made sense. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. It'd be great if y'all couldn't see a bit of what I'm doing here, which is totally possible. Okay. Just trying to get some of this loose stuff off, because it sticks out and does not feel good on the hand. See, like, there's some that's still, you know, some bark that's still pretty well attached, and I don't really care about that. It's the bark that's puckering up, you know, it's no longer attached, but is still having, you know, stuck on there. Those are uncomfortable. At this point, I really doubt y'all can see what I'm doing. Like, I had a little bit of doubt earlier, but at this point, I'm betting y'all can at all. But yeah, every now and then with this sort of stuff, you gotta make the decision to take the quicker route and the more efficient route, rather than the better route for filming it for YouTube or whatever site I want to post it on. Wish there was a I wish there was a good alternative to YouTube, you know, somewhere where you could actually stand to potentially earn a living that didn't have all of the mess that YouTube's got lately. But it's the juggernaut. It's like Twitch, you know. You say Twitch, and these days, a very large percentage from very large, you know, very varying walks of life, very varying, know that you're talking about live streaming, and it's because it's the juggernaut. You know, it's the one that's, everyone knows the name. And so that's where people go when they're like, I'm interested in watching someone play X game or Y game. Twitch really bends over their creators though, unfortunately. So, little dirt here. I mean, it's public knowledge, but most viewers don't know it because it's, you know, it doesn't directly affect them. But Twitch takes 50% of your subscribers until you represent a large enough following, so your following gets large enough that you can. This is always, to my knowledge, after you've been partnered, but to where you can negotiate a higher percentage split. I know a couple of people that have done that. But fucking 50%. So that $5 subscription that you give your favorite broadcaster, you're getting $2.50. That's why oftentimes you'll, if someone's raising funds for something, you know, like new graphics card or fix something that broke, you'll oftentimes see their their subscriber goal, you know, say it's like a $50 part, you know, should be 10 subs and you get 50, but you'll see it be 20 subs. And then the real smart ones, they'll actually up that a little bit more. You know, they'll make it like 25 subs because if you make enough money where you're gonna have to pay taxes on your Twitch income, you are going to you're going to be paying self-employment taxes. So you're paying, you know, what would typically be the employer's portion of the taxes as well as the employee portion of the taxes. So it can really fucking eat up your income if you're not accounting for it. That's why I say the smarter ones will have it, you know, even higher than double. I have seen some people, and I don't remember who the names are, even if I wanted to name names, that have straight up like made their sub goal, you know, match up perfectly. If I was getting $5 for every subscriber, it would take X subscribers for me to get this graphics card, and they do that. And I really, it always bugs me, honestly, when I see that, because they're making their viewership, their community, think that, you know, that's covering all of the cost, when in reality, they're paying, you know, half of it. And so then if they show up in your stream and you're like raising money for a graphics card, they will sometimes, it's a rare occasion these days, but sometimes they'll call you out and think that they are like giving you the fucking what for. They found a greedy streamer, when the reality is their main content creator they watch did them the disservice of making them think that, you know, all of the $5 goes to them. That's something else in the streaming space that I'd love to see change, and I'd like to help change it. You know, if I'm if I'm blessed enough to continue to broadcast in a meaningful capacity, that is. But I'd love to educate viewers a bit more, and educate broadcasters that, hey, you need to be giving straight shit. You need to be, you need to be sharing straight dope. Because if you are not, and you're, candy coating it and, making someone feel like they're supporting you in the best way by subscribing, you're just training that viewer to believe that anyone that doesn't, do it the way you do it is greedy and trying to milk their community. Whether that's just ignorance on, well, I don't think any broadcaster would be ignorance, honestly, on their part. It's ignorance on the viewer's part, though. Okay, I am comfortable enough with that. I don't feel like I'm gonna rip my hand up anywhere. So let's get y'all back where you belong, and we'll set up the shot and then start cleaning. I don't know how much I'm gonna get done of this because I've only got so much light. Okay. Hey, this works pretty well. So this isn't gonna get all of the little stuff, the super fine stuff. But that's all right. Honestly, I really genuinely considered getting a garden hose out here, wetting down the edges of this, and then setting it on fire. Because if I were to do that, we'd get all the little pieces. Anything flammable would go, apart from like sticks. Grass fires often don't have the heat, the sustained heat necessary to light larger material on fire. But see, look, it's like an archaeological excavation here, man. It really is. I don't know if any of this audio, the talking is going to come through. I do have that nice Rode shotgun mic on there. So maybe it is. At least if anything, I hope that it's clean sounding. Because that wind guard usually works pretty well. Also, I might venture out of the shot. Again, I'm just trying to get as much of this done as I can today. It's a lot of grass here. A lot of hay. It is a coastal field after all. So we scalped it to make it less likely to just burst into flames. It's a lot to do. I'm gonna shut up, get my music going, and put my nose to the grindstone. Apparently it was weak there. Okay, so I'm gonna whittle this down and attach it there. We'll see how that goes. Might be just a perfect length. It might be too short. I'm gonna finish this real quick though.